Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War Campaign 10, week 3, day 2. So today, of course, we got ourselves the Sunken Fleet faction. We also finally covered the weekly video a little bit earlier today, or technically it was last night, but kind of in between there. Anyways, as far as the faction is concerned, it is a blue-red restriction, which gives us quite a few good mana accumulation options. This also gives us access to things like Rowan, Phoenicia, stuff like that. As far as the exact team, probably going to do the same one that we mentioned in the video, which is a variant of a Phoenicia build, just using Harpy Mage instead of Leprechaun, as we cannot use Leprechaun. But it's basically the same thing, just turn 2 empower instead of turn 1. Still very powerful. And it's probably going to be the main build that we end up running for it. And then kind of just wiping out Ward Event and going from there. Anyways, let's start with that. What do I need to change? Do I need to change anything with it? Pretty sure I just paste it right in. Alright, let's go and get going with it. Go paste that right into there. And of course, now that we have the automatic enchants off of Soulforge, is pretty nice because we don't actually have to go and spend our 30 gems yet. We could do it at the end if we need to. However, we might end up saving 30 gems, so that's always nice. Because the first tier, you used to need to do it to get the enchant potion. But now with how factions work, and have since the previous patch, ends up working out pretty nicely. Also, I'm not sure if we're getting the patch today. I have not seen anything on it quite yet, but if any of you see the patch, do let me know, because this might be a version 6.4 stream, if so. However, otherwise, most of this could be messing with the faction and, you know, the normal Tuesday grinds. But we might be having a patch, so there's a non-zero chance. I haven't seen anything about it anywhere yet, and I'm pretty sure we're not getting one today. But there's a non-zero chance it's still coming, so we'll see what happens. If any of you see anything on that, do let me know. I haven't seen anything yet, though. Not yet. Though this is about the time that it normally hits, like this time, next half hour. And I'm pretty sure we're not getting anything yet today. But we will soon. Probably sometime early next month, because I believe we need it for the next kingdom. No, then again, they already did the Gargoyle gem, so they can actually already implement that, probably without a patch. There are likely still another patch before then, though. Because currently, the 3rd week of next month is when the new faction is planned. Or sorry, not new faction, I mean new kingdom. And very soon after, new faction, new hero class, you know, new everything with that. As well as one of those new bundle thingies. Which honestly wasn't that bad for the price. I think it was like $8, $7 if you got it on mobile for whatever reason. And had a few goodies in it. And everything except the pet has been reobtainable for free. So it wasn't that bad. The pet still has not been available, though. Oh, wait, no, never mind. The pet from there was available. Never mind, I forgot. Duh, that was one of the ones that was in drop table. So yeah, I'm pretty sure every single thing that was in there has been available free to play by now. But that was all the way back in December when the last one came. It's actually been a while. They ended up doing that with one of the patches, I think 6.2 or 6.1, where it added the functionality to be able to add those in. And they've only done it once since then. It was back in November, December. The next time we'll be hitting it is July, next month. Sometime later next month, I believe the 3rd week. I think July 20th. It's like that 3rd or 4th Monday. It's the 18th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So it's kind of around the corner. A few Mondays from now. Actually, I think it's exactly 3 Mondays from now, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. If today's that, then 1, 2, 3. Oh no, it's actually 4 Mondays from now, if that's the case. Oh wait, is that the 20th? Hold on, I'm looking at the wrong month. Wait. Yeah, it is 3 Mondays from now. My bad. Yeah, because that would be the 18th then. Which sounds about right. So that's right around the corner. Anyways, hello everyone. Hope all you've been having a wonderful week so far. Oh gosh, my computer's being so laggy I can't even scroll. There it goes. Hello Isabel. Hello Gimli. Hello Daddy Shark. Hello Tyrion. Hello Inflame. Hello Anthony. Hello Ricardo. Hello Roman. Hello Imperial. Hello Andrew. Hello Bill Warhammer. Hello everyone else. Welcome, welcome. Oh, we're almost getting in a level this stream. How about this? We'll hand out a redeem code when we hit that level. Because I think we could definitely cover that gap. That's not that much XP. Though what we're doing isn't gaining XP at a particularly high rate, though. Oh, no, I think we could end up managing it. Because we're relatively close. How close is that? Yeah, we could definitely get that this stream. We'll hand out a code when we get a level. That's pretty close. The only problem is factions do give relatively slow XP. Good class XP. Kind of low comparatively, like normal XP. Because the reason why class XP is actually kind of good is you're getting 2 XP per battle. But the amount of, for class XP that is. But your normal XP gain is still the same. Despite it taking a bit longer. So it's really good from a class XP perspective, since you're getting 2 per battle, double what you would normally be getting in most quicker circumstances. However, the normal XP that you're gaining for your bigger number, still moving the same speed, which is technically slower speed because the higher amount of time to win a battle compared to just clicking a button to auto-win with Dust Devil, which is always funny. Oh, I got our Valor even pretty early already. Oh, hello, Supernova! Welcome, welcome. Oh, how do you survive? Oh, Submerge. Oh, no. I do not have Dispel in this setup. I'm tempted to go get it. Dispel could definitely be helpful here. The main way to do that if we were to do it... Oh, but I can't because I need Red Storm. I was going to say, we could run like Warden or something, but I forgot. Is there anything that actually has Red Storm into Dispel? I think they're under the same... No, they're not under the same category. I've never actually needed that combination before. It's very rarely that you would. Normally you need like Green Storm into Dispel. But actually, I forget if there's a Red Storm into Dispel option. There probably is somewhere. Have to dig through all of them. It's not too important right now, though. The amount of submerges we're going to see is very, very infrequent. Oh, yeah, Dragon Guard does have that. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Because he has the Fire Tree, he has the 1 Guard Tree, and then the other thing. Yeah, worst comes to worst, we can switch to Dragon Guard. Problem with that is no half-mana start, but all of them don't have half-mana start like that. Though the new hero class is coming out next month, or actually technically a month and a half from now. It's likely coming out in by August, sometime in August. We don't know exact date, but sometime in August. That hero class is actually looking pretty good. We will be finally covering the hero class tier list, and I will be including it even if it hasn't been released yet, as it is S tier. It is definitively S tier. Even if they tweak it slightly, it is S tier. It's kind of like Elementalist, where like you knew ahead of time it was going to be S tier, but instead they made it like S+++++. But like you knew like way in advance that it was going to be, and this one very much is kind of similar. It's not as ridiculously overpowered by default as Elementals would, but the kind of combination that it has into the tanky premise, regardless of how they tweak it, it is definitely going to be the tankiest hero class in the game. And one nice thing about it compared to other tankiest hero class in the game like Sentinel is that it naturally has a half-mana start, which is absolutely huge. Because a lot of them that are tankier, like let's say Dragon Guard and Sentinel and stuff like that, they can get a half-mana start, but they don't naturally have a half-mana start. Whereas this new hero class that we're getting in August does indeed have this half-mana start, which is crucial for a lot of hero classes. It can make or break a hero class if it does not by default have a 50 start. Obviously ones that aren't can still be good. Like right now we're using Sunspear, which doesn't have it. But generally speaking, you mostly want to prioritize the ones that do have half-mana start in most situations. Okay, unfortunately it doesn't give us anything that breaks the Submerge though, which is the main thing we're going for, and then that kills him out. A little bit weird having to do that and let him hit us like 3 times just to drop his Submerge, but it did indeed drop it. Yeah, this place does have a above average amount of Submerge compared to your run-of-the-mill faction. This one in Sea of Sorrows probably have the most amount of Submerge of any kingdom, or any faction I should say. You can normally work around it though. Also in the later battles you're normally just running like Zugoff Iron Gut or something similar. But for the earlier battles we do have to deal with that little bit of Submerge. Though of course we're not doing beyond the earlier battles, we're just doing it for the free rewards. Which over time does seem to be like less and less loot. Not in that it is any less loot, but you know, compared to the economy of the game, it's relatively less loot. But I don't know, I still feel like it's always worth going for. There have been some Tuesdays I've skipped it when I've been busy or on vacation or other similar things. But otherwise, it's pretty decent loot for the time. You're spending like, what, 20, 30-ish minutes for 2 orbs and a Valky, which is still pretty solid even with how easy Valkys are to get in the current state of the game. Or, you know, at least during Vault events anyways. You tried to get some sleep, but after 2 hours you failed. Oh gosh. That kind of happened to me last night. I was trying to get to bed earlier, and then like one thing led to another. And then we also recorded that video and made sure that got out. But, and then I remembered, like, oh, Nintendo was doing that one presentation in the morning, and I wanted to catch that. And one thing led to another, and my sleep schedule was just, like, the weirdest thing ever. But a pretty interesting announcement actually happened during it. I didn't care about most of the announcements, But they're re-releasing the Mega Man series. It's actually one of my favorite series of all time, pretty much. Way back when. I have like so many childhood memories from that. But Mega Man Battle Network games. It's the only kind of Mega Man games I even know. Like, whenever anyone brings up Mega Man games, I don't think of, like, the platformers. I think of the Mega Man Battle Network ones. And they were so much fun. It's like a grid-based... It's like a combination of real-time and turn-based strategy, and I really liked it. But, yeah, they're re-releasing the entirety of the whole series. And I don't think I've ever played the last game, because I played, I believe, up to 5. And supposedly there's, like, a 6th one. And I never actually played that 6th one, if I'm not mistaken. But, yeah, we're going to be doing that. I have, like, memories of that almost similar to that of, like, Pokemon. It was actually that good. Because, you know, you would get it with, like, your friends. I think there was, like, a double version of many of them. So you would kind of get it, you know, switch out the version exclusives, all that kind of stuff. It was a lot of fun. I really hope it has multiplayer compatibility, though. Because it's going to be a little bit weird if it doesn't. But if it does, that's going to be so huge. Because to be able to, you know, battle other people and other things like that. Because before you could just link up your 2 consoles together. And you could end up doing it that way. But I'm really looking forward to it. Unfortunately, it's not coming out till next year, so we got some time. They didn't even announce the actual time. And it's good, too, because I actually believe... I don't know where all my Game Boy Advance, all those kind of games are. Even though we just got most of it shipped back to us. There's still some that I have no clue where they are. And that actually is one of them. All the Mega Man Battle Network games. So it's nice that they're re-releasing them. Definitely looking forward to it. Hopefully it's not too expensive, but whatever it is, I probably would buy it. Because it's way cheaper than trying to get them physical, that's for sure. Because I'm pretty sure a full physical collection of them is like $500 or something. Whereas the whole bundle will probably be closer to like 50-ish, I would hope. Let's see. Take that over. Grab a... Oh, we'll go for Explode. Got your wisdom teeth removed? All 4 at once? Oh yeah, I did all 4 of mine at once as well. I was loopy for days. It was a really fun experience. They did the laughing gas thing and I was like laughing hysterically. It was funny. Like that, it's not always supposed to do that for everyone, but it definitely did it for me. It was a really fun experience. I like that extremely numb feeling. Like a little too much. And after that for like days, I was feeling like off. I didn't use any of the painkillers or anything though. I didn't really feel like I was in that much pain. I was just like ultra loopy for days. Let's take that over. Yeah, it's nice to get done. I'm glad I got it done while I still had insurance because it actually cost me literally 0. Whereas otherwise, I think it cost a couple thousand. Or maybe not a couple thousand, but definitely like a sum of money more than 0. I'm actually not sure how much it is. Maybe 8,000. Oh, that was like the last things I got while I still had insurance. Because I wanted to do it before I didn't have insurance. I do technically have insurance now once again. However, it doesn't cover like dental or glasses. So theoretically, I still don't have insurance in that regard. Hello, Clip-Bomb. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Logic Slayer. Welcome as well. But I guess we're not getting a patch tonight. I kind of assumed we wouldn't. But at this point, if it didn't happen, it's definitely not happening. Who knows? Maybe next week. Definitely sometime next month. I do definitely feel for sure we're getting a patch before Next Kingdom comes out. And Next Kingdom is currently slated for the 3rd Monday of next month. Unless they change that as well. I was gonna say, I hope we get the 20% Devour. We actually got it, because it wouldn't have killed otherwise. pure shards, exactly what we want to see, because I really don't need any other reward other than the shards. I mostly just need the shards to upgrade kingdoms to 200, particularly to 175. 200 is not as important now. Well, you still get the potion effect and all that, but 175 is when you get barrier. Like, it's the last unique potion. Anything beyond there is just extra stats. So technically, well, the goal is still, like, you know, get base 100 as, like, your first priority. 175 is, like, the new max as of the most recent patch, the previous one, 6.3. Because at that point, you get barrier and literally every unique potion effect. Anything beyond 175 is just extra stats, either through power potions or, you know, just the natural stats for every level that you get on it. That's the last unique reward that you get. Well, you know, not really a reward, but an extra bonus whenever you run the kingdom. But it definitely adds up to be a lot. Like, even right now, we're getting those effects. The barrier, the bless. Like, we take, like, 0 damage. Not like we're gonna die at these level range, but, you know, still. Also, where's my final Valraven, by the way? Unless I accidentally missed one. Oh, there it is. I literally said that. We should be getting one, like, any moment now. There's the Valraven. Right on cue. I was gonna say, we're a little Valraven dry there. We're definitely gonna get it on this floor. Like, there's a 100% chance it was gonna appear. It was just only a matter of when. But kind of funny it appears the second I mention it. Any idea when your faction tier lists will be coming? Oh yeah, I still need to cover. There's so many tier lists I need to cover. Very soon, TM. But yeah, there are many that I do need to get around to. So much I made the list for, I just haven't covered the video on. Like the class one I already made the list for. I do need to go edit it to add the new one that we're getting in about a month. But aside from that, the list is already made up. I might tweak a few locations as well. A couple of them are in a weird spot. Like, for example, how do you, like, rank that one class that, like, puts death mark on things? Like, in theory, it is, like, a useless tier class. But in practice, it is better than, like, half the classes in the game. Because what if you actually kill off a death mark? Like, you normally won't. But what if you do? Like, it can actually be not horrible. It's not consistent enough to ever use compared to another hero class. And if you're ranking it that way, then, you know, it'd be a lot lower. But if you're just ranking it based on, like, pure what can it do, it's actually not bad. It's just below average. Which makes it seem bad compared to all the ridiculously good hero classes. Because that tends to be what happens with hero classes. Is, there's, like, several different types. There's only, like, 5-ish, maybe 4 or 5, like, different types of hero classes. And anything that's trying to be, like, a different type that is already, you know, that already has a better variant, like, it's just useless in many situations. The triple damage skull ones is one slight exception, because quite a few of them are unique enough. Like Hierophant, for example, it's one you generally wouldn't use, but it's unique in that it has the cleanse on skull, or, you know, cleanse on extra turn, which can be very useful to cleanse away when you're taking skulls. And there's, like, unique aspects like that. But then there's, like, other ones, like, let's say Warlord, where it's just definitively worse triple damage burning. Like, unless you're really early on in the game and you can utilize, like, that 8 extra attack or whatever that it gives, or I think it's closer to 10 or so. But unless you're so early on in the game where you can actually utilize that little bit of extra attack value, like, it's basically not doing anything compared to the better triple damage burnings. And by better triple damage burnings, I mean literally everything else in the game is a triple damage burning aside from it. There's a lot of situations like that, where a lot of them serve a similar role, but they get outclassed by something and don't have a unique enough aspect to really justify using them. Hopefully they pick up the pace, but they don't. Yeah, they haven't really been communicating well lately. They've been having that issue ever since Salty left. They don't really have, like, anyone designated to do that role now. Like, there are a couple people that are, like, kind of doing that role, like Jetto, G-Man. Kafka, oddly enough, is kind of doing that because she's still doing our codes. Actually, speaking of which, you should have a few more for me in a few days. Actually, how many codes do I have left? Did I effectively use them for the month? I think I did. Luckily, thanks to Guild War. Let me see, how many days are left in this month? 3, counting today, and we're handing out 1 tonight. I clicked on my thing, though. The other computer's being so slow, it's not even bringing them up. Oh, gosh. I'm definitely going to have to just paste it into chat when we paste it later. Because it can't even bring up a simple text notepad. There it goes. Oh yeah, I still have like 7 left, or 8 left for the next 3 days. We're not going to hand out that many during that time. But just in case she doesn't get back to codes immediately. Because realistically, she might not be able to get to codes till next week's Monday or next week's Sunday. Well, we'll find out soon. Exactly, I think I have enough to last till then. Because we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that would work. 9 codes. And we have 6 days until then. Yeah, that'll work. A little bit of leeway there. Hoping a campaign pass full of Imperial deeds. Yeah, I still wish they would add a more consistent way to get deeds. It's probably the most annoying currency currently within the game. Like, it kind of makes sense why they're bottlenecking it a bit. Because, you know, you need some currency to still have to look forward to. Or, you know, just still try to do an end game. However, I still feel like it's bottlenecked a little bit too heavily. Metals, I feel like they're starting to improve on, especially with the mimics and everything. But deeds still feel like they're... they could still do more. Like, we need like a treasure hunt overhaul that maybe brings in deeds or, you know, something. Like, we need a go-to location for deeds. Currently, if you want deeds, there's like no direct path to go from wanting deeds to getting deeds. Like, the only thing you can kind of do is try to get more gems, as like those daily things can end up giving you some deeds, which then convert, or, you know, use gems to go get those. So those gems technically convert to deeds if you have a lot of them. But most people don't have such a surplus of gems that they can be using it on deeds like that. Because it comes out to, if you buy it at full value, it's 7,500 gems per deed book, which is a very high amount of gems that almost no one would really pay for, unless they really wanted a faction maxed. But, or not a faction, I mean kingdom. But, yeah, it's a lot of gems. 7,500 per deed book, essentially. That's basically a power orb. Like, every deed book is literally a power orb and gem cost. If you were to do it off those daily little bundles that have 3 of them for 300 or whatever it is. I think it's 3 for 300. Like, if you did it by that every single time you saw one, it costs 7,500 per deed book, which is exceedingly high. That's basically a power orb per deed book in cost. Though some people do have over 100 power orbs. Is Tyrion here right now? I know there's others as well. And there are some people with that many who probably would be willing to make that trade. Trade out a power orb for a deed book. Actually, that would be an interesting thing. That honestly would not be horrible value. Because they really don't have a use for power orbs at the moment, and that would be a really funny way to actually do it. That would not fix the deed, that would not fix the deed issue. However, it would be a really funny way to utilize them. One power orb converts to a color deed. Maybe just a completely random deed book. Ideally a choice one. But then they'd have to make 6 different options for it if it is choice. Cue the shark. Hello, Daddy Shark. Welcome, welcome. Oh, do we have all our battles in? Oh, no, we have to clear out this area. And then we get to see the RNG on if we got it or not. Hopefully we did. Yeah, as far as Imperial deeds versus deed books, we are starting to get to the point, or at least like super late in the game, where the bottleneck is more so going to be colored deeds rather than Imperials. Or, you know, deed books instead of Imperials specifically. While they do require a lot of Imperials, the ratio of deed books to Imperials I think is like 3 to 1. So eventually it's going to be way harder to get the deed books. Because 3 Imperials, even if you spent the max amount of gems for it, is 1,500 to 3,000 gems to get 3. Whereas to get 1 deed book of equivalence is 7,500 gems. So eventually we will get to the point where even though the initial levels eat up Imperials a little bit quicker, we are eventually going to reach the point where deed books are the bigger bottleneck. And some people probably already reached that point. I feel like we're right at the cusp of hitting that point on this account. Oh, what do we need here? Take that over. I still really hope we get a treasure hunt rework. I know it's not happening this year, because based on the roadmap, not a single one of them seems like it's a treasure hunt rework. But we really need a treasure hunt rework. It's honestly not that bad of a mode. It's just the payout for it is so underwhelming relative to time spent. Also, the way that you play it optimally is very, like, it got really diminished by 4 times speed. It's one of the few areas of the game that actually got less fun to play when 4 times speed came out rather than more fun. Like, a lot of the game actually got a lot more fun when you could play at 4 times speed, but treasure hunt actually was hindered by it. Mostly because the optimal strategy for looting a treasure map is not that fun. when you have 4 times speed available, because it rewards you for not thinking. Is basically how treasure hunt currently is, because it's more so just like take a move as quickly as you physically can, is like the main optimal strategy for running treasure hunt, which is definitely not how it was meant to be played, and was definitely hindered by 4 times speed. Because when speed was slower, you know, you could like think of your move as the stuff was moving. But at 4 times speed, it's not like instant, but you know, it definitely moves a lot quicker, giving less time to react. It always had an issue where going deep wasn't that worth it though, but it was made worse by 4 times speed. I was gonna say, you better not submerge. But he actually doesn't have submerge. You trade a power orb for a deed book in a heartbeat. I know, you would. I was just mentioning that earlier. I said exactly that. Ah, we didn't get any good orbs. Still got the vault key though. But anyways, there we go. Let's go ahead to the code. I said I would hand out the level, but let's hand it out when we finish out the factory. We're pretty much getting the level any moment now anyways. Also because I'm not sure how laggy this thing's gonna be. Loading, 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 loading. 1 second. Let me go grab this code. I'm definitely just going to be posting into chat, because there's no way I can get the link with how laggy this other computer is right now. But yeah, this computer is pretty much at its 9-year anniversary in like a month or so from now. Can't remember the exact time I got it, but it was the summer of 9 years ago. I can't remember the exact month within that summer. I could probably check if I look like way back in the computer's thing. But there you go. There's the code. Use it on gemsofwar.com for the game code section. Your invite code can be found in your settings menu. Whatever game says right over there is what you put in for your invite code. Redeem code's right over there in chat. It's copy paste or random numbers and letters starting with HY. And to give same word as always, 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 200 gold, which I haven't actually claimed yet, but there you go. Enjoy. Okay, let's go get that level right around the corner on it. Let's do it while clearing out the dailies. And then we'll go mess with the world events. So we did most of the battles yesterday. It's a pretty straightforward world event. We have a lot of really strong options for this week, which makes it pretty easy. Oh, that's not the team I want. I want Phoenicia. Good old Phoenicia. Oh, someone claimed it for me. Thank you. I can tell because we got mail. Also, honestly, I've actually been enjoying the Gargoyle gems. They're low impact enough that they're not annoying, but high impact enough that when they actually do something, it's like, hey, the Gargoyle gem did something. Like, I honestly like the balance of Gargoyle gem. It's a nice balance of not being too overly intrusive, but still being high impact. Honestly, I feel like it's one of the most balanced power gems we've had, where it's not too overbearing, but not too ineffective. Though it is really random, unfortunately. But I don't feel like its randomness is bad. Like, Lycanthropy's randomness is really bad. Like, that is just like a nightmare. But it's random in a good way. Also, next Kingdom is going to be really heavy on Gargoyle gems, by the way. How viable they're going to be is within question. But the next Kingdom is very heavily based on Gargoyle gems. Not literally everything in it has the capability of doing so. But like a third, I would say, have the capability of doing Gargoyle gems, either good, bad, or both. Like, some of them spam only a single type too. Like just bad gems or something. Those might be a little bit worse. Just because there's already better ways to apply stuff like that. But the mixed ones will be kind of interesting. Because there aren't really... Actually, is there any? There's not too many options within the game that are capable of applying both positive and negative stats effects. There are a few, but not that many, where you can apply positive to your allies and negative to the enemy. The first one that comes to mind is like the legend from the Wardens, but that's generally pretty inconsistent. Whereas these will have a lot more... well, actually, I don't know. I guess they're kind of the same way. Yeah, it's basically going to be kind of the same premise as the legend from the Warrens from Pan's Veil faction. Except just with more of a board-related presence rather than just a cast. And also the capability of backfiring. Oh, that's what I wanted. I'm going into Soulforge. Oh wait, I already did the other thing. Oh, I might as well claim the keys as well. Already there. You got 109 power orbs, gosh. And you've already used 64. That means you almost at 200 then. I'm actually not sure how many I have. Yeah, Luna. Is that her name? I actually forget her name. I just refer to her as not Pensvale. Well, it is from Pensvale, but it's Warren's legendary. Yeah, Luna sounds correct. It has like 1 to 2 positive to your allies, or 1 to 2 positive to to enemies. Or sorry, 1 to 2 positive to allies and 1 to 2 negative to enemies while doing a full AoE hit. While also having that explode when you take yellow. Which is actually the inverse of what Hero does. Hero, when you take an extra turn, explodes a yellow. Whereas she, when you take a yellow, explodes a random gem. Which is kind of funny, as they have basically the inverted ability compared to the hero class. Oh, come on, we're so close to that level. So really close. Anyways, let's go clear it out with a faction. I mean, not faction. Gosh, I'm calling everything the wrong name. Let's clear it out with a RimWorld event. Right back in the little battle that we have from over here. Yes, as Isabel mentioned, definitely feel free to leave a like on the stream. Helps a lot and is greatly appreciated. If you guys have any question or anything you want me to go over, do let me know. Of course, at this point, it looks like we are not getting a patch today, though I kind of already assumed we wouldn't. But we probably will soon TM. Or likely still getting a kingdom next month. Like, that likely will not get delayed. I'm pretty sure they already have everything set up to release it. Which is a matter of, you know, the time getting around to actually release it. Though I am pretty sure we will get a patch before that happens. Which means in the next 3 weeks we should get a patch. So one of these Tuesdays will eventually be the patch. Just have to figure out which one it is. Oh, it is definitely not today. But I wasn't expecting it to be today, even though it was technically supposed to be this month. So they're already falling behind the roadmap, but at least they shared with us a roadmap. It's better than no roadmap. Probably because next update is Puzzle Quest 3. Oh, are they doing a Puzzle Quest 3 update this week? That might be why. I haven't been keeping up with everything with that. How has Puzzle Quest 3 been? Are we still the #1 guild? Have they added any features that are good? Have they buffed Paladin at all? Actually, what is the strongest hero class in Puzzle Quest 3 right now? Because when I left, due to the nerfs that happened to Paladin, I'd probably say it was Shaman. Like, Shaman definitely seemed like the strongest hero class. It had like some really strong, like, infinite loops. Like, it was basically Web Spinner with Fairy Fire. Like, it's basically Gems of War's Web Spinner with Fairy Fire. Is what Shaman was. Just in a bit of a different playstyle. I don't know, if Paladin felt pretty crippled after the barrier nerf. It's still really good, though, for tanking. Like, it's still the tankiest of the classes in Puzzle Quest 3. But normally you need damage so battles don't take forever. Oh, they're finally doing a fix to Bazaar? Nice. Yeah, that was always a weird mechanic in the game. That basically punished active guilds. Which seems like a very bad thing to have when your game is barely active. Like, it literally discouraged active guilds. The mechanic that it had set up. Ah, we're out of sigils. But hey, thanks to the guild, we got some assists there, and we still keep rolling bad orbs. Why is our orb luck so bad lately? We had such a good week, like 2 weeks ago. We had a power, major blues, like major purples all week. And then we got a week like this where we haven't seen any of that for quite some time. Anyways, I believe that is all the core grind. One thing I was hoping to maybe do tonight was, of course, 6.4 patch, but that's definitely not happening at this point. So, with the rest of the time, I guess we will go hunt a little bit of Explore 12. See if we can get a little bit of grind here, see if we can get anything lucky. Haven't been doing much lately because we were ultra focused on Guild War last week, which took up pretty much all of our free time on our nightly streams. So we were hyper focused on that, both prepping for the following day as well as, you know, every day as they were coming by, just doing the Guild War itself. But now this week we have quite a bit more time, so we will go and see if we can get lucky on Explore 12. It's not going to grind itself. Have I looked at the new Mythic for this Friday? Oh yeah, I almost forgot. We do get a new Mythic this Friday. I actually completely forgot to mention that in the Monday video. I kind of forgot that, I sometimes forget about that when it's the connecting month. But yeah, we do get a new Mythic this Friday. We can go take a look at it real quick. I don't see why not. It's close enough that it's probably releasing as is. Let's see. Where is the Terran's World? Okay, to Terran's World. We go to, not Troops. Actually, yeah, Troops. That's the right category. Alright, so this is a new Mythic coming out this Friday. Let me go make a nice big... Oh, that's not it. Oh, that's the troop for... Wait, what's this for? Oh, this is the new troop coming in with Crypt. Duh. I forgot. Every new faction comes with a new troop now. Oh, I might as well look at this too. Why not? I forgot. Duh. Because now whenever we have a faction event, we also get a new troop. That's a factor now, isn't it? Alright, so, alright, here's the Mythic. We'll look at the new faction troop first for Sunken Fleet. And then we'll go look at the Mythic. Alright, so, oh, I like it, the art. So, as far as the one coming out through Fraction, this is of course for the Crypt faction this weekend. It drains mana from all enemies, specifically 7, and either Deathmark them, Silence, or Curse all enemies. It has Jinx, Undying, and that extra bit of life when in Underworld. Interesting. It's 2 luck based. If it did 2 of those 3 things, I feel like it'd be good. But it does 1 of those 3 things. Like, it does the mana drain, it always does that. But the Deathmark, Silence, Curse is or, and or. If it was like 2 of those 3, I feel like it could be good. If it was all of those 3, it would be insanely good. But if it was like Deathmark and Silence, Deathmark, Curse, Silence, Curse, Deathmark, Curse, Silence, you know, like any 2 of those, then it would be viable. The fact that it's only 1 of them with no extra turn or anything like that, no board control, I don't feel like it's going to be used. Like maybe for the faction itself, obviously. Oh, did they actually remember to make it the correct colors? It's yeah, they did, because I believe it's red purple or blue purple. I think it's red purple. Yeah, last I recall, Crypt is red purple. So they actually did do it the correct color. Let me just double check. That's not the right one. But yeah, Crypt should be red purple, last I recall. Oh, I don't want to click this though. Well, I guess we'll click it because you know, we're gonna have the reset with the other thing. But it should be red purple. Yep, red purple. Right, that's what I thought. Oh gosh, been a while. Oh no, I was messing with a Fairy Godmother team. I know why I was doing that. I was messing with a really funny Fairy Godmother team. That was around when she was first released. Anyways. So where were we? Let's go and keep grinding. Oh wait, actually, I didn't go over the Mythic. I went over you. I didn't go over you. So this is the Mythic coming out this Friday, though still subject to change. It is Pride Lands Mythic, Rashka Beast. The 2 typings you would kind of expect from the area. It is 21 mana cost, so a bit lower than the average Mythic, though not the absolute lowest of 20. Actually, 21 is actually a really off mana cost for a Mythic. Not that many 21s, oddly enough. As far as what it does, it deals magic plus 4 damage to an enemy and gain magic plus 4 armor. Both boosted by all enemies' magic. At 2-1. Let's assume it's 50. That is 100. So what's it boosting? Wait, that's a lot. Hold up. Wait. What? Wait. That's a lot of ratio. Deal magic plus 4 damage to an enemy and gain a bunch of magic, or gain a bunch of armor, both boosted by all enemy magic. So if each one had approximately 50, that's 100 total armor and damage. That thing is tanky. Interesting. This is like alternative Tina 9000, but worse. It's basically if they meet Tina 9000 and found a way to make it worse. That's what this troop does. Interesting. But it has a spell reduction at 25%, a score reduction at 40%, which honestly, this might be one of the few like tank-like mythics that aren't useless. Like the ones that are meant to be used in first slot. Problem is he has no follow-up, but that ratio can actually get a lot of value. It also gives 4 armor to all yellow allies when matching yellow gems, which is pretty much useless. If his final trait was better, this could actually have some usability. But yeah, I think it's going to go under, like, useless tank. It's going to go in the in-between area between, like, Tina 9000 and useless tank mythic. Like, you're still going to use Tina 9000 in, like, 99% of situations. But there will be, like, a rare situation where this guy's actually going to be in first slot. His typing is also a little bit unfortunate because Rashka teams, like, you barely ever would build a pure Rashka team. And by barely ever, I mean never. And in a pure beast team, pure beast teams are generally very skull focused for the most part. And what he does isn't necessarily as good for skulls. Like, it kind of can with his reduction and everything. But he's not, like, the prime thing you'd want to put there. You'd likely want to put, like, an impervious beast in first slot. Like that one that converts all Doom Skulls, or all of a color to Doom Skull. I think that, like, green one. Whatever it is, Hatter Ascendant, Scroll Reborn, whichever one it is. It converts, like, all green to Doom Skull or something. It's basically like a pseudo Lord of Slaughter, but with impervious. Which is actually interesting and useful in some situations. But I don't know, I personally feel like this won't really be used much. It's basically just worse Tina 9000, though it is better than the average frontline tank mythic. But still kind of bad. Because that's a pretty low bar. Saying that's better than, like, the tank mythics. Because that's among one of the weaker categories. Not the absolute weakest category, but among one of the weaker categories of mythics out there. I don't know, we'll have to see. Magic boost ratio like that could be interesting. Because let's take all of our magic, for example, here. 49, 46, 40, 52. Like, we're getting, like, a, what, a 180, I want to say, off of that? Maybe a little bit higher. Or, like, a 180. That comes out to, like, 90. So he's getting 90 additional armor, 90 additional damage. The big issue with that is that's not enough to one-shot. It's going to have almost, like, a Ferris Ra issue. Ferris Ra had a really big issue where its damage output was not really that good. For, like, when it first came out, it wasn't as bad. But over time, it became worse and worse because its scaling never really got that much better. And it was never really able to one-shot things. And this mythic's going to have a very similar issue due to the amount of magic relative to overall durability, where it's basically never going to one-shot anything. It might gain a lot of armor and stuff like that, but it can't one-shot anything. It also has a weird issue where a lot of troops have this issue, but it gains a lot of armor but has nothing to use that armor on. Of course, there are things that you could do with it, like Sentry, or you could synergize it with Tesla, or what's that other guy's name? That one brown-green that does damage based on their armor. Like, there are ways to utilize that armor, but any troop that gains a lot of armor that can't specifically itself use that armor tends to not be that good. It's one of the reasons why Tina 9000 is actually kind of broken, because it's one of the few options that gains a ridiculously high amount of armor that not only has an ability that, if that was the only thing it did, was actually decent, but also has this massive armor gain and this massive durability capability, particularly to spell damage, while also being able to use that armor as an offensive option, basically covering all your ground, because it has high skull damage, it has high cast damage, and has high durability. At least the physical casting anyways. Not so much the skulls. Like, it covers so much ground. And a lot of things comparatively mythic-wise, or even just in general, don't really do it the same. And the mythic we're getting this Friday is no different. Where I'm pretty sure it's not really going to get used much. Unless you're building some kind of really weird pure beast team. Like, that's about the only context I could feel like it would actually viably fit. Otherwise, it's kind of just being put on a team to be put there. It reminds me a lot of that one other big armor gain one. The one with the bomb bot, or the bomb gems. That one bomb gem mythic. Like, it was really gimmicky in that you could synergize it with, like, some kind of armor boosting thing. But at that point, you'd be better off just using one troop that can kind of do the effectiveness of both troops combined. And I feel like this next mythic has that same issue, where you could run it, but you're going to need a whole support troop just to make it work. Where you could use one single other troop that basically does both combined. Wait, did you just get the Horde Mimic troop, Ricardo? Is that what you mentioned? Big, huge congrats, so. I joined a bit late. Also, hello, Mr. Z. Let's see. You don't know if you covered the Sunken Fleet Pure Faction team? Oh, yeah. I didn't show it. I showed it in the video, though, that we covered earlier. But it's this team right here. Copy paste for it's on the video. Oh, that's not the team. That's the Shathino team. But it's Mirage Queen, Drowned Sailor, double Water Elemental. Main premise is win by spamming a Water Elemental. Mirage Queen is mostly here to tank and give the whole team half mana start. Drowned Sailor is here primarily to give Water Elemental mana. You have +2 into brown so you can get it directly. You also have +2 blue just off its link. So you have +2 brown, +2 blue, +1 red essentially. But you're primarily trying to take brown and just spamming the Water Elementals until you win. Yeah, that's pretty much the premise. Everything else is just there to function. Or, you know, keep the team together. But yeah, huge congrats on the Mimic. Oh, you got your second Horde Mimic last night as well? Nice, Lester. Yeah, I'm so glad I finally have it. Like, that was such a huge grind. And it's so good to feel that it's over. Obviously, you can still get more, but, you know, every one subsequent after that doesn't really do as much. But it was a nice grind to finally get done. Honestly, the best grinds ever in this game, like the feeling when you're finally done with it, is maxing all hero classes. There's almost no better feeling in this game than when you finally have every hero class maxed. There are a few that are somewhat close, but I don't think none beats the exact moment you realize you're finally done maxing every class. Until they add another one, but you know, once you initially hit it, feels good. Because you start playing the game a lot differently because you don't need to like constantly be passively trying to get class XP. Which you do a lot prior to maxing all classes. Which is something you pretty much never see me doing because, you know, we have all of them max. And normally any new ones we have enough gems that we can just gem it down. Also because we like covering a video on it early. Which normally requires a couple thousand gems. Yeah, I like showing them at least at level 70 before I show them for a video. I don't always show them at 100 max, especially if they don't necessarily need their final perk. Like this next one coming up, I don't think it really needs it necessarily. Actually, that's not true. It does get a bunch of immunities. But if you're fighting a fight where you don't need those immunities, then it won't really matter as much. Because I think the only two good ones it gets is like a bunch of extra construct bonus, which is relevant for it because it's construct class. Like I think it's a bunch of armor for constructs. But the other one, the one you're realistically going to use is the stun immunity, freeze immunity, or not stun. I mean not freeze. But you know, the one where you get all like the dwarven immunities, the stun, the poison, the burn, whatever else is under the category. I'm not sure why I can't remember all of them off the top of my head. But you know, the standard like dwarven immunity. Oh, I did that. I already had winning condition. All troops leveled and max traded to Mythic. Oh no, that didn't feel as good. Finally having all troops done. Because once you're already close, you basically have max efficiency already. Because if you're missing like a few of the worst Mythics in the game, like it doesn't really matter much. Like you're not really going out of your way for it. Whereas something like classes, you're going out of your way constantly for it. But if you're missing like 10 really useless troops, like it has like no impact on anything for the most part. Whereas even when you're still missing like the very last hero class to max, you're still having to go out of your way to keep getting it XP. Whereas you reach a certain point where you have a certain number of troops where you stop caring about it, and you just kind of let your resources accumulate. Because you know you're basically just waiting out a timer. Because with classes, you have to like actively farm them. Whereas a lot of the time when you're starting to get close to having every troop in the game, you're mostly just waiting out timers at that point. Because you're waiting for like when you can event key drop table something, or when something comes in Soul Forge for diamonds and stuff like that. Like you're mostly just waiting for timers. Whereas classes you're just actively always farming. It's a bit of a different experience. Oh, hello Dixon! Welcome! Welcome, welcome. Can we trade later today? As you lose your online Oh no, you lose the online membership for the other thing? Sure. Wait, do you mean for your Switch or for the bank Pokemon thingy? Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, I meant to do that the other day, but then the thing happened, so I kind of got a bit distracted on that day. Oh, Nintendo Online? That thing's pretty cheap to renew. And quite a few things need it as well. Including Animal Crossing, I'm sure you end up doing it. Oh, it won't be able to renew until July 1st? Oh, okay, I see. That's weird, so there's like a few day down period for it. I can do it today then. So that means you're gonna have no online for 2 days. I basically wouldn't be able to play my Switch without it. Because I feel like every game I currently play on Switch requires online. Or at least is greatly enhanced by having it. It's kind of funny because I never actually owned a Switch back when the online was free. Like, I think for the first year, the online service for it was free. But by the time I got a Switch, it was like the exact time when it started to get paid. So I honestly didn't really mind it as much because the entire time I had it, like, especially if you compare it to like other subscription services, because isn't the one for like, let's say PlayStation, isn't that like almost 100 something a year? You do get a lot more for it though, for that money. But if you're looking at it just purely from the price tag standpoint, it's like $20 versus like 100 something, which actually isn't that bad comparatively. Though you do get more stuff out of it on the Sony one. Same as Xbox. Like, it's more expensive, but you get more with it. But if you're not using a lot of that stuff, you're kind of just, you know, spending the money and getting not too much back for a similar service. Let's see. We'll throw that down. Gotta pay for those server maintenance. Let's see. Take that over. Yeah, the Xbox One's $60 a year for just online. Wait, does that not come out with any games or anything? I thought it came with games as well. Or I might be thinking of Xbox Game Pass or something. That might be something else. I always thought they were the same thing, where you got like the online, but you also got games. Because Nintendo's $20 things, you get games with it too. Most of them are like really old retro games, but still get games with it. Let's see. I'll take that one over. Hey, that's why I thought. You get a lot of new games with it. That's why I thought. Let's see. You'll take that one over. I've still never owned an Xbox console. And the only PlayStation thing I ever owned was PlayStation 2. I don't feel like I would ever try to get one, though. Like, isn't PlayStation 5 still being scalped? Like, it came out, like, what, 2 years ago at this point? I'm pretty sure it is, like, legitimately still being scalped to this day. Like, I'm pretty sure you still can't just go into a random retail store, like, if I just walk into a Walmart and be like, I want a PlayStation 5. I'm pretty sure I can't physically do that. Unless I get really lucky. Actually, it's kind of funny. When I got a Switch OLED, I actually got their very last one they owned at the GameStop I went to. It was the absolute last one they had in stock. But that was around the time when it like just released. I'm pretty sure they're like everywhere on the shelves these days. Yeah, I would never pay for Nintendo's version of like a better online, because you don't really get anything permanent from it. And it just lets you play like, I think, some more N64 games and a few other things. Which doesn't make much sense because my dad actually sent out the other box, and I think it's all here now. I haven't opened them yet though. Though I might end up opening them off stream, ultimately. Though I need a nice storage container to put them into because I actually don't have a proper method, so I need to go order one off of Amazon and figure out how to store it. Because I'm already starting to run out of storage in my room. I'm actually reaching the point where I am running out of storage. And I'm not sure what to do to get more storage in the limited space I have. So still trying to find a solution for that. Because in the next few months, we're probably going to be able to do a lot of old Nintendo games on original hardware. Particularly N64 and GameCube stuff. And that's when a lot of the series first started. Like, almost every mainline, like, Nintendo franchise started on N64 or GameCube. Not every single one of them, but a good number of them. Let's see. Throw that down. Which is weird, because I think the GameCube is actually their second worst selling console ever. Only behind that of the Wii U. Because why? Why would they do such a thing? Will I ever get a PlayStation 5? Probably not. I would maybe consider PlayStation 6. My only concern with that is it's probably going to be PS5 all over again where it gets scalped for ages. I really don't want to deal with that. I end up passing on the Steam Deck 2, or, you know, the Steam Deck TOO. However, if they release a Steam Deck 2, as in the numerical number 2, I'll probably be getting that. Because I've been considering it. I'm just kind of waiting till they do a better iteration. Because you know they're going to do a better iteration like a year or 2 or 3. Especially because next-gen consoles. So they're probably going to join the console wars and be like, hey, we got this handheld thing. Because portable PCs seem pretty useful. I've never actually owned any yet. Let's see, I'll take that over. Isabel, didn't you end up getting the Steam Deck? Or did you not go fully with the order? I feel like I would use it quite a bit. There's not too many Steam games I play these days, realistically. Though I definitely would more. There's definitely a gigantic backlog that I would get to a little bit more if I had a handheld version of it. Oh, I don't have a cascade there. I need a cascade there, though. Gosh, please give me any value on the board. Let's see. You wanted the OLED more? Oh, did you actually get the OLED? Yeah, I was originally in a toss-up, and I actually ended up ultimately choosing the OLED as well. Because realistically, if I just want to play PC games, I'm generally going to be playing on a more powerful PC than playing on the little handheld thing. Let's see. Let's get that over. All the OLED talk. I don't know, I've really enjoyed it so far. I haven't used it too much for too many games. Honestly, I pretty much only used it for Pokemon so far, and Fall Guys. But it's been pretty nice. Though Fall Guys is definitely not that optimized for Switch. Hopefully they'll get around to fixing that. Like, it's still winnable. Like, you can still win and play the game. It's just so much harder to play the game. Because it has, like, slight input lag, and it feels like you're walking on ice. On non-ice rounds. It's basically just hard mode. Hey, we got an Anu. Nice. Well, I got something good tonight, at least. And a little badge upgrade off of it. You gave your other Switch to your son. I use both. Just because it's nice to switch between when we do our streams. But yeah, I still use both of them. Also because you can have multiple accounts that way as well, which is really good for farming certain games. Particularly Pokemon, but even just in general. Because you can actually have multiple instances of the same game running, just on different profiles. Like, you can use one copy of the game to run 2 copies of the game, which is something I don't even think you could do with Steam. Because if you're logged onto the same Steam account on 2 different computers, and you try logging into a game, or, you know, you go into, like, let's say Gems of War, it will not let you open a different instance of the game that you have on the other account running the same thing. Whereas with a Switch, you actually can, oddly enough. Though you have to have the digital version, it wouldn't work with the physical, because obviously you can't have the game disc and 2 different things at once. Are you interested in Dead Cells at all? Or hear about the accessibility updates that just came out? Isn't that that one roguelike that's kind of like a platformer kind of thing? Where you have like a bunch of combat with like upgrading. Like, it's kind of like Hades, but more 2D if I'm not mistaken. I never got into either of them, but it's a genre I wouldn't mind playing. But I've never played anything specifically under that exact genre of roguelike. Because it's things like Hades, Dead Cells, a few others I believe are all kind of in that same genre. I've actually never played any that are like that. I probably will at some point. You haven't Mario Party until you played Mario Party 64 until your thumbs and palms hurt. I've done that before. I actually have all 3 of them right here in this house right now. They're in the box over there. But yeah, I have the full collection now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the more recent ones on Switch. Also, I used to have the advanced and DS ones as well. I'm not sure where they went, because I can't find most of my handheld games for my consoles. And honestly, the DS version was actually one of the best ones. The advanced version was actually one that wasn't even technically Mario Party. It was like some kind of weird spin-off game, even though it technically had the Mario Party name. But honestly, the DS version of Mario Party was like probably one of the top 3 Mario Parties of all time. It was just really hard to play with other people, because, you know, it wasn't like on a console, on a big TV. You had like this little small device, and every single person needed their own device. I believe even to copy the game as well. But even if you only just need the DS, it was still a lot that you needed. But I'm pretty sure you needed the game and like individual DSs. It made it really hard to play with multiple people. And the AI was really bad in the game, but it did a lot of mechanics really, really well. As well as the minigames. Like, everything about it was good. It had interesting boss fights, which is actually something Mario Party didn't really do. It had interesting border control, because there's a lot of things you could throw, like, anywheres on the board to control certain areas that could basically trap certain areas or lay a benefit for yourself, which led to many layers of gameplay. And the minigames for it was one of the most solid of any Mario Party game. Like, it's one of the ones that used the mic and touchscreen and, like, all those in a way that was actually good. Like some of them that used it really gimmickly. Like Mario Party 6, I think it was, you had like some kind of mic accessory, but it's extremely gimmicky and didn't really work that well. Whereas the one on DS was actually really good, because it wasn't really trying to track words, it was just trying to like track airflow, which worked really well for a lot of games. Hello, Genki. Welcome, welcome. Oh, catch you later, Tyran. Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, if anyone still has any questions or anything else you want me to go over, do let me know. We probably will be wrapping up soonish. Oh gosh, we're at 99 shards. Okay, we'll go for one more. Oh, did I see your last question? My bad. I think I missed it. There's a lot of chat that happened when Genki came into the chat. Let's see. Oh gosh, my computer's being so slow. Come on, older computer, you got this. Oh gosh, it's not scrolling. I'm clicking the scroll bar, but it's not moving. I'm clicking the bar, but it's not doing anything. Actually, let me go look through it this way. Hold up. I'll just do it on my actual computer. Are you interested in Dead Cells at all? What was the other question? Let's see. Was there a question after that? You just realized an update that intended to make the game more approachable, and it was wondering what your opinion is. Well, as far as making it more approachable, that seems like a good thing. On the one hand, the game is famous for being very hard, but on the other, they added infinite lives and enemy. Honestly, I don't mind easier modes on games. I just wish it was more accessible to access the harder modes. Like, for example, recently we were playing, and still are, we're finishing out not Age of Calamity, the other game that they made. We're finishing out Fire Emblem 3 Hopes, and we'll be finishing out our second playthrough tomorrow, and then finishing the last of it this weekend, and be 100% done with the game. Well, we might still do, a few other things, but, not streams of it. But anyways, that game had a, it had a decently wide variety of modes, as well as an easier mode to be more accessible to people. But the main thing that was unfortunate is the hardest possible mode was locked behind actually playing through the game at least once, which I don't really like when games do that for the most part. I'd rather just be able to play through the hardest possible mode immediately. But it kind of locked it behind needing at least one completion of the game first. Or somewhat made sense based on how they scaled it, because they actually scaled it pretty well. But otherwise, I don't know, I like playing on the hardest mode first. That's an issue that Pokemon kind of always had. It kind of already by default goes for like the easiest possible mode. And they don't really have a hard mode. Legends Arceus was a little bit different, in that by default it was actually among one of the harder games. What's the pure faction team for today's faction? It's basically just AoE spam. I can show it again. I mentioned on the video earlier as well. Let's see. Let's go poke at it real quick. If this thing would ever die. Thank you. We'll go for one more chest as soon as we cash in those 99 shards, gosh. Right on the precipice. Where's my team? But this was pure faction. It's just Mirage Queen for tank and 50% mana start to Drown Sailor for empower into blue. And you'd run a double brown banner in order to feed water elemental immediately, combined with double blue to feed even more mana, and basically spam water elemental until you win. And it's pretty much the whole premise. And you just win off a double water elemental. Everything else there is just there for support. That is the plan. Of course, we didn't run it today because we already done pure faction. The copy paste code for it's on the video we covered earlier today. Oh, I don't have a good option here. I'll try for Skull if this guy didn't get it. Luckily, just have a Skull lane there, and we're good to go. Alright, final chest. What do we have? Something good? It's not a Mimic. 6. Go. I mean 3. It can't be 6. I meant 3, not 6. But we got 2. Boo. Oh well. Better than nothing. Anyways, guys, we're going to end it there. We will be back tomorrow night, same time as always, hour prior to now tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Of course, we didn't get a patch this week, so we're mostly just going to have the pet. Definitely don't forget to pick it up. While this thing is technically in the drop table already, most people will probably be getting it for the first time today, including myself, as this is one that was added in version 6.3 of the game. And a lot of people have not had time to pick it up, either because they don't check the game that often, like me, these days, or, you know, they're not farming as much during a Vault event or guild-wide, you know. Like, you could generally find a lot of them during Vault events, but I think we've only had one since then. I don't think we've seen one since then. The guild did find the one of the 6 the other day, but I wasn't on. It was like 3 or 4 a.m. at night, so I wasn't on at the time. But yeah, definitely make sure to get this guaranteed one, and hopefully they'll go and do all these at guaranteed. because we haven't had an option. Tomorrow will be the first day where any of these 6 that were added in the previous patch will have a 100% chance of getting it. So definitely make sure to do so within the 24-hour period of tomorrow, starting in 6 hours and lasting for 24 hours from then. So definitely make sure to pick it up, as this is the first guarantee time that you have a really long time frame to go and pick it up compared to how it has been, even though it is technically already in the game. This is the first, most realistic time to end up getting it. Anyways, guys, we'll catch you guys later. Don't forget to pick up the pet tomorrow, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye, everyone, and thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. And also, we'll be finishing the second playthrough of 3 Hopes, as I mentioned, during the day tomorrow, if any of you are interested in that. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching.